the end of the day, the two most valuable resources for everything you want in your life, it's not complicated. Emotional states, energy, that's it. Think about it. If you don't feel good, how are you gonna enjoy this thing we call life? If you don't feel good, people don't wanna be around you. And not to mention also, if you don't feel good, how are you gonna stop yourself from saying things you know you shouldn't be saying? It's almost a cliche. Oh, I should have said this, I should have said that, but that's because you're not addressing the core. That's where all the concepts you're getting from the books, videos, maybe even your counselor, you got some great concepts, but no ability to execute. When you can control your emotions, that is the foundation for that. Again, making everything very simple here. So the reason why you've probably looked back at your life and said, wow, things are not going the way I want, that's because you've never addressed the core before. But when you feel fantastic, that gives you all the odds in your favor to actually execute in the way that's gonna behoove you and your relationship. But at the end of the day, when you feel great, you're just good. And that's what everyone wants. So let's keep things simple here. But any process you're gonna do to resurrect yourself, your relationships, and your life has to start with that foundation. It does not matter what you know. All your concepts go out the window as soon as you feel fear, sadness, anger. As soon as you feel that stuff, what good are your concepts? They're worth nothing. So it does not matter what you know, it matters what you can do. And if you can't control your emotions, you effectively know zero. Any process you're gonna do to work on your relationships and your life needs to address at the core. Number two, energy. Energy is the fuel for everything you're looking for. How are you gonna make your dreams come true? How are you gonna make your relationship to the next level if you don't have any gas in the gas tank? Does that make sense? But that's not a concept, that's a skill, that's a conditioning. And by the way, on that note, a lot of people talk about mindsets and beliefs. That's not really what they're looking for. If you think about it, how are you gonna have a mindset when you feel like shit? How's that gonna work out? Your ability to execute is a conditioning, it's the way you feel. The conditioning is actually what allows you to execute a mindset or execute a belief. Beliefs and mindsets alone, without the conditioning, without that energy, without that fuel, they're worthless. So at the end of the day, what everyone really wants is a conditioning. And again, that's a skill, that's a process, that's not a concept. And that's why the people that work with me, my clients that do the Refocus on Happiness program, they're good either way. Hey, some people get back together with exes, some don't, and most of them don't even want that person back. But when you feel great, it's a whole different level, not just for your relationships, but for your entire life. So let's kind of close up here. Two most valuable resources, energy and emotional states. When you feel great, you speak great. When you feel great, you just execute at a completely different level. That's what makes all your techniques actually executable. And if any of you are dealing with stuff where you're trying to get, a job back, a business back, relationship back, you first have to get you back. And again, to get you back, that's conditioning. When you get you back first, and you're now at this level, people want to line up with you. Think about it. A lot of you are dealing with breakups, and you're kind of in a rut, you're in a fog. No one wants to be around you. And the decision to be in a relationship is an emotional decision. It's not logical. You can't take a PowerPoint presentation and say, oh, you're going to want to be around me because of A, B, and C. It doesn't work like that. People either want to be around you or they don't, based on how they feel when they're around you. So if you have a relationship that's not going so well, you can have all the concepts in the world, but if you're not enjoyable to be around, good luck with that. That's not going to work out very well. You can have all the best qualities in the world, but if someone doesn't enjoy their experience with you, that's not going to work out too well. But to get yourself back there, you can't concept your way there. That's a conditioning. That's your ability to control the way you feel, okay? So again, I'll kind of close on this note here. Steve Martin has a great phrase. He says, be so good at what you do, people cannot ignore you. I'm going to show you I'm going to make it so obvious what is available to you when you actually finally address the core. And by the way, on that note, again, this is a biological process. It allows you to rewire, recondition your brain like you recondition a muscle. I got doctors to do my program. Why do you think that is? A lot of you might have heard the idea of neuroplasticity, brain cells that fire together or wire together, but this is a true practical experience allowing you to recondition, rewire your brain like you'd recondition muscle. Same thing. And again, it allows you to keep moving at higher levels. But anyway, so bottom line is, that is what addresses the core. That's what allows you to take your relationships and your life to levels you ultimately want to go. Anyway, enjoy. I'm going to make this so obvious for you in the end part of this video here, where you see a bunch of people that are just like you, same situations. At the end of the day, no offense to you guys, but your situation is not as unique as you think it is. You have a brain that is capable of incredible things if you give it the right process, the right condition, the right stimulus. You have no idea what you're capable of. And again, at the end of the day, everything you've done is because you want to feel a certain way. But to feel a certain way consistently, that's a conditioning process, and that's why you're going to want to address the core. So enjoy the video. Talk to you guys soon. Take care. Go to refocusonhappiness.com. What you want to do is you want to click the button at the top, contact Lance. Very, very easy form. When you go there, you'll put your name, your last name, your email address, and your phone number. And I will get in touch with you in just a few days, okay?
Just be a little patient. I got a lot of people I work with, but I'll get in touch with you in 72 hours maximum. But after you do that contact Lance link, feel free to scroll around here. Again, Steve Martin has a great phrase. He says, be so good at what you do, people cannot ignore you. If you scroll down, you'll see testimonials from psychologists, doctors, zillions and zillions and zillions of past clients, including medical directors, et cetera, et cetera. So like I said, I'm making this so obvious for you, what I represent for you, what I believe. The only reason you would not do this is if you're a glutton for punishment. So yeah, feel free to take a good look around. Again, I'm gonna make it very clear what I represent for you if this is something you're serious about, okay? Awesome. Look forward to speaking to you soon.
It's about trust in yourself. And here's the way to bring it down to the most basic level. Once you know what you want, just repeat this phrase to yourself every day. You ready for it? I don't care what you say, I care what you do. That's awesome. That's very exciting. As soon as you say, I'm going to believe you, as soon as you show me something different, I'm going to believe you the very first time. That's it. You make it simple. Not so complicated.
I was sick and tired of hurting, and I needed to change. I had to physically, mentally, and emotionally change quickly, or it wasn't going to be pretty. And so you and I talked, and we started that night, and it's been nothing but an uphill, amazing journey to the top of the mountain to look around and say, I feel pretty damn good.
I mean, I will never forget when you and I first connected. Some of the conversations you and I had, like when you did that first program. I mean, it's almost like haunting, but in a good way. It's like, I can't believe I did this other program. This other person told me to buy gifts and do all these like things. And like, that's why I'm so passionate about what I do, because I know there's a way better way. And when I hear, again, I got to appreciate some of these people out there, these other ideas, if you want to call them that. I appreciate that they're trying the best they can. But you know what? When you go to a local state school, the instructors there also try the best they can too. When you go to a local tennis coach, that local tennis coach does the best they can too. They just don't operate at a certain level. It is what it is. So when you and I first spoke and you were like, I did this other program, I spent all this money and I'm really getting nothing, even maybe perhaps going the other direction. I mean, I'll just never forget that conversation where I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe it's the price of admission. You'll really appreciate what you get here because it wasn't so easy to get here. And my intentions, the same thing it was before when we spoke before. It's like, there's a way better way. It's not a magic trick. It is hard. That's true. But there's a way better way to feel better.
2019, a couple of years ago, my husband had decided he wanted to be separated. And we were married 32 years. We had gotten married when I was 19. So it's basically all I knew. And I tried another program, and I paid for that program, and it had counseling with it. And I even paid, and that was extra, of course. So I paid extra for the counseling, and they were advising me to, buy gifts and send letters and just do all these things to put effort in, that they felt like maybe I should have been doing all along. Although I did feel like I had been doing things before, they were showing me that I could have done more maybe, but the more you try to do those things and you get rejected from it, it's just very hurtful, and it brings you into more sadness and more pain. And I even tried a couple more counselors here locally and saw them a few times, and I just wasn't getting any help that would really like take the pain and the sadness away and help me to figure out what was going on. I was completely blindsided. I didn't see this coming. I thought we were going to be together forever, and we had kids, we have grandkids, and I was having bad dreams, and nothing was helping. And I saw you on Facebook, and I work full time and been doing accounting for 30 years now. And I said, well, I'll just shoot him an email and see what that's about and see how much it costs. See if this is maybe something that might help me, because I just knew I couldn't get there and nothing was helping. And I just didn't know what else to do. So I talked to you, and you felt very confident that you could help me. And I was like, how can you be so confident? How? I mean, nobody else is offering me any promises. I'm like, how can he know? Like, does he not understand my pain is really bad and I'm struggling? But your confidence made me decide to be all in and give it 100% and give it a try, because nothing else had worked. So I'm like, let me just try this. He has faith. If he has faith, I have faith. So I'm gonna go all in. And the program was good. It was hard. It's not easy, but it works. And I would say the first few days I could tell a difference. I was very, every day that went by that I was into the program, I felt more hopeful and more happy. And I remember thinking the program's name is Refocus on Happiness. And I'm thinking, how am I going to get there? Is this possible? I don't think I'm going to get there, but I mean, it's the perfect name, because after 6 weeks, I felt like I got this. I understand. I know a better way to do things. And it helped me with my confidence. It helped me to process and understand everything and look at things in a different way. And it's amazing that you can do that in 6 weeks. It's really amazing that you can do that in 6 weeks. I would have never believed it, but I didn't know any other way to do it. And I was like, let me give this a try. But since I did the program, I went to my dentist, and I was talking to her, and she said, there's something different about you, Kathy. It's like you have this aura about you. And I was like, wow, she can tell that there's something different about me. I never said anything about, my situation, my divorce, my program, anything. And for her to notice that, it just kind of made me feel like, okay, something is different about me, and it's noticeable. And I also had a new friend that I had met up with, and her and I had went out to this event, and she said that to me. She said the same thing. You have this aura about you. And I'm like, really? But you can feel it. You just don't know that people can see it. And it just makes you feel like I finally am there. I do have healing. I do have hope and confidence and strength. And I just didn't think it was possible. And I'm so happy to be where I am right now. And I'm so excited for the future. I didn't think I would ever say that, because I really wanted that relationship and that marriage to work out. And I thought if that didn't work out, I wasn't going to be happy. But I realized I can be happy still. And that's amazing.